Why does my hair keep getting thinner? I'm eating good, but I'm losing my hair on the top. I'm on cholesterol medications and I'm eating good, but I'm losing hair on the top. I'm a diabetic. I'm eating good. I'm taking my glipizide, my metformin. I'm taking all my insulin medication, but I'm still losing hair on the top. Why am I losing hair on the top? What is going on with this hair on the top of my head? So, what I want to share with you all is the reason why it's a mess. The reason why, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hello, hello. The reason why is because your hormones are out of balance. And I want to talk about one hormone in particular. If you guys don't understand it or not, you're insulin resistant. Insulin is a hormone. So when your insulin is out of bounds, when your insulin is too high, when your body doesn't recognize its insulin surges over and over and over and over again, that's why your hair is thinning. It's dry, it's flaky, it's scaly. You're on ketoconazole. That's the reason why your scalp is burning. That's the reason why your dermatologist is giving you intralesional steroid shots. It's because of the insulin levels. Okay? Let me explain it to you like this. We leave out the door in the morning. What do? We go to the local store. In our area, we have Wawa. So Phyllis, K Bash. I'm not sure if you know what a Wawa is, but we have Wawas in this area. First thing a lot of people do when they sit in my chair, I see them with a tall 24-ounce cup of Wawa coffee, or they'll have those Wawa smoothies, or they'll go to Starbucks and get those lattes, the tall lattes, and ain't nothing but whipped cream and sugar and milk and sugar and syrup. Nothing but sugar. Then you eat your breakfast. You got your donuts. That's nothing but sugar. Then you eat your lunch. Tater chips, Chick-fil-A, everything that's processed. Bread, sugar, everything processed. All we're eating is nothing but sugar, 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 sugar. What I want to share with you is the higher you keep creating your glucose, then insulin has to be secreted from the pancreas so that it can pull down your glucose level, your blood glucose. As this happens all day long, your insulin is just constantly rising because you're eating, snacking, eating, snacking. You got the tall fruit lattes and the tall smoothies, and then you're eating lunch, and then you're eating your fast food dinner, and then you're eating things that's processed. All the while, your blood sugar is constantly raised, and then your insulin has to keep being raised to knock down the blood sugar, to force it into the cell so that you can use it for energy. But this dynamic over time creates a series of problems for you that lets you know you are sensitive to your own insulin. Want me to tell you what it is? Your scalp is good and sore. You start seeing that part in your hair start to widen. It's getting wider and wider. Your hair is getting thinner and thinner. Your scalp is getting real sensitive. It's getting real flaky and irritated. You start getting that dermatitis and that little ring right around your hairline that never seems to go away. You scratching because you got scales. Your scalp is all sore. You can't see. Your eyesight is starting to go. You got headaches. You can't sleep at night. You got PCOS. You got frequent yeast infections. You have neuropathy. Your fingers and toes just constantly tingling. I'm going to tell you what happens on the far end of that. Sometimes those people with that diabetic neuropathy, because they're insulin resistant, sometimes you start losing oxygen and you start losing blood flow. All this here, these are arteries and veins that lead to your scalp. And I'm going to get to that in just a second. Those arteries that lead from the heart, they transfer into arterioles, and then those arterioles into capillaries. And those capillaries, sometimes they don't get any blood flow. They don't get any oxygen. And that's why those with diabetes eventually have to get their fingers and their toes amputated because they get a small cut that a normal person with normal blood sugar wouldn't have to worry about. They get a cut, it won't heal because there's no oxygen, no circulation, and no blood flow. They get that cut on that foot, they get that cut on that leg, guess what? Then their foot turns black. Then their fingers turn black. They got to get stuff amputated. This is the same thing that happens to the scalp. Yes, I tell you all the time, I'm going to wrap something around hair every single time. I get a lot of people who are not diabetic, But I tell them it's your insulin levels. You're insulin resistant. That's why your doctor's telling you that you're pre-diabetic. It's because you on your way. You're on your way. Your blood sugar is just teeter-tottering to the point where they need to put you on insulin. So what I want to share with you is when your scalp starts stinging and burning and it's irritated and your part starts to widen and you start losing hair, you start losing that density and your scalp is very, very sore, it's because your insulin levels, your blood sugar, your A1C, your insulin is teeter-tottering, it's too high. Insulin is a hormone. When you impact your hormones, you're going to see hair loss in the hormonal zone. When you're eating too much processed food, too much sugar for too long, you're eating the wrong foods, you're getting massive inflammation. It's a whole series, a whole dynamic. I'm trying to share with you all, when you're not paying attention to your bodies, your sugar will become out of control. Your sugar levels over time will be out of control. And then you think you're safe because you're taking your metformin and your medicine and you're taking your GLP-1s. And, oh, I eat a good diet. If you ate a good diet, you wouldn't need the metformin. If you ate a good diet, your doctor wouldn't continuously tell you that you're pre-diabetic. If you ate a good diet, you wouldn't have problems with your eyes. You wouldn't have diabetic neuropathy. You wouldn't have them headaches. You wouldn't have those yeast infections. You wouldn't have that PCOS if your diet was good. It's that sugar, that processed food, them starches, the bread, the white rice, all that fruit you keep eating, thinking, oh, well, it's fruit, it's good for me. It's the sugar. It's the sugar. Let me share something else with you guys when it comes to your hair and your hair loss. When you're losing hair in this area here, your hormonal zone, you have to pay attention to your hormonal balance. You have to do things that's going to support and take care of your hormones. Now, another thing that happens is when you start losing that hair on the top of your scalp, this is what's happening. That blood sugar is very thick. That blood sugar is very thick. These capillaries can't utilize very thick blood. It needs to be able to have oxygen-rich blood. When you're eating too much sugar, your blood gets very, very thick. Doesn't carry oxygen. Blood doesn't flow well. Thick blood doesn't flow well. This is why we get blood clots. Okay? When we see very thick blood, we know that you're living a very acidic life. And we have to help you as trichologists to change your diet so that you're eating more alkaline, so that your blood can be thinner, so that your blood can carry more oxygen. Because what's happening is the longer you have a very rich, high sugar, high glucose, insulin-led life, let me share with you what insulin does to you over time. I got another fun fact for you. During the past couple years as a trichologist, I've been a trichologist since 2016. Over the last 2 years, I have seen a rise in non-alcoholic fatty liver. So when my clients come in, I'll say to them all the time, do you drink? They'll say, no, I don't drink. I just drink socially on occasion. Then I'll monitor their diet. I'll say, okay, give me your diet for the past 2 weeks. I'll review the diet. I'll review their lifestyle. Some are taking care of aged parents. Some have kids that have come home from college, don't have jobs yet. The kids are living with them. Some of them are taking care of their grandparents. Some of them have high stressful lives. They have husbands and spouses and girlfriends and boyfriends that are getting on their nerves. The work's getting on their nerves. They have a stressful life. That combined with their diet lets me know the high blood sugar from the high surges in stress and a life of processed food, quick foods in a box, quick foods in a bag, and a stressful life will lead to you having high surges of blood sugar. Each time you're stressed, your body surges with blood sugar so it can feed your brain so that your brain can carry you through tasks, so that you can think, so that you can walk, talk, and chew gum at a higher, faster, quicker rate to make sure that you're swift and you can do what you need to do. However, when your blood sugar is constantly raised, when you're stressed out, then insulin has to come in, knock those blood levels down, those blood glucose levels down to be able to force that insulin and get that blood sugar into the cell so that you can use it. Your brain gets first dibs on all the blood sugar that's secreted in the body because your brain has to take care of every move you make. It has to travel that signal down that spinal cord so the rest of your body can move in comparison. So I say this, combined with your stressful lives, the food that you're eating, the processed food, all of the sugar, the white rice, the starches, the french fries, the fruit, the lattes, the sweeteners, ketchup, sauces, pickles, sugar, all day long. All we're doing is shooting up our blood sugar, shooting up the blood sugar. As I said again, this causes a problem with insulin. Over time, your pancreas gets so inflamed and overworked, your body doesn't even recognize the insulin that you're secreting. It doesn't even recognize it. And then at that point, it's called insulin resistance. And most of you guys are sliding into the pre-diabetes to diabetes phase, the type 2 diabetes. Let me give you another fun fact. In addition to that non-alcoholic fatty liver, let me tell you what happens when you're insulin resistant, when you keep dancing around all this sugar and all this processed food instead of making your food at home. Stop going out so much and stop drinking. Let me tell you, the more sugar you're eating, the more you're on this path of insulin resistance. Your body's trying to tell you that you're insulin resistant, but you're not listening. The higher your sugar levels are for the longer time that it is, creates a dynamic where you become so insulin resistant. There's so much insulin floating through your body all day long because of what it is that you're eating and because of the life that you're living. Instead of taking a woosah and not stressing, that insulin, because we have those high levels of insulin, needs somewhere to go. It's circulating through the body, and it's not going to get stored as adipose tissue. It's not going to get stored around your middle like cortisol. It's going to get stored in your liver as liver fat because you're eating so much sugar and you're increasing your insulin levels. That excess floating insulin is going to go into your liver. That's where you get non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or fatty liver. Your liver is so inflamed that it cannot detoxify your body sufficiently. What also happens is, in addition to not being able to detoxify your body efficiently, it destroys the mitochondria of each cell in the body. So if you want to know why you're feeling like you're just getting old and you can't get up and your body is so sore and you just feel like you're breaking down and it feels like you've aged 50 years in 1 year, it's because your cellular growth process has been impaired because of the way you eat, what you're taking in, your stressful life. It's impacting your blood sugar, your insulin levels, your hormonal levels. That insulin is breaking down that mitochondria, so that mitochondria doesn't have any energy to split, divide, and make new cells. The energy producing function of the cell is hampered. It doesn't work well because you have non-alcoholic fatty liver. You've got a fatty liver from the choices you're making, from the life that you're living. So yes, I'm putting it out here like this because it's that serious, it's that deep. So what I want to share with you all is there is help. There is a way to bring down your blood glucose levels. One trick I got for you is if you stay until the end of this series. I'm going to wrap this up in about 10 or 15 more minutes. I just have a couple things I want to share with you. The longer you have problems with your insulin levels and your glucose, the longer you have problems with high A1C and insulin resistance, the insulin resistance will show up as frequent yeast infections, very painful, irritated scalp. You may have gone to your dermatologist and your dermatologist has told you that you have lichen or lichen planopilaris or lichen planus. In addition to those frequent yeast infections, then you have neuropathy in your toes and in your fingers. You can't see. You got headaches. You can't sleep. You have bad arthritis. You have terrible inflammation throughout the entire body because sugar breeds inflammation. Do I need to go on? If you want me to keep going on, just let me know. So I want you to understand all of this inflammation, it comes from all of what it is that you're putting into your body. You have to watch what's on the end of your fork. But I've got some help for you. I've got some help. So what I wanted to share with you is Your blood glucose can spike massive insulin surges all the time. Over time, that leads to a dynamic called insulin resistance. Your body will try to let you know that you're having insulin resistance, but many people don't understand the signs. They don't really know what it is. They just think that they're just getting old. So they'll take ibuprofen and aspirin, and then they'll take something for shoulder pain. I forget what them things are called, glucosamine. It's not the glucosamine, you just have to watch your blood sugar levels. Over time, because insulin is tied to cholesterol, then your cholesterol levels will start to rise. So what's going to happen? Your doctor's going to put you on cholesterol medication. So now you got a problem with your blood sugar, insulin resistance. Now you got a cholesterol medication issue, because once your doctor puts you on cholesterol medication, now your endocrine levels, your hormonal balance is really going to be screwed up because you're taking medication that's going to be drawing minerals from you that your hair and scalp needs. Then you wonder why you're losing that hair on the top. You're already losing that hair on the top because your blood sugar levels are out of control. And insulin is a hormone. But the longer your insulin levels stay raised, it causes an issue with your cholesterol. Then by the time you get to the doctor, because you're feeling so out of sorts, you can't think straight, you're gaining weight, and everything ain't right, then they put you on medication. So you're really going to be losing hair. So then what also happens is, because insulin and cholesterol and magnesium are so tightly wound together, now you're going to have a problem with your magnesium levels. So when you get to the point where you can't sleep and you got them headaches and then you're up all night, you have to watch your sugar levels. And usually having that magnesium will allow your body and your nervous system to relax. So insulin, cholesterol, and magnesium are tightly tied together. I'm telling you, I've got the solution for you, but you've got to pay attention. So I want to know who in this chat right now has some issues that they want to talk about, because I want to answer some of your questions. If not, because I'm going to keep going on. I'm going to wait, and I want to see, does anyone need any issues handled on this chat right now? Because I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm also on TikTok. So if you guys have any questions, you let me know, because I just wanted to talk to you all about why you're losing that hair in the top. You're losing that hair in the top because you're impacting and you're impairing your hormonal levels through your blood sugar. Your blood sugar spikes insulin levels, which eventually leads to insulin resistance, and your body's been trying to tell you, but you didn't know that's what that was. If you have problems with PCOS, it's tied to your insulin levels and your blood sugar. If you learn how to take advantage of a program that will help you reduce your blood sugar levels, this will help you. It will help you bring down your blood sugar levels so they're not constantly spiking. And then you can do this and manage your PCOS with time. It can also surge your cholesterol levels, because once your insulin is raised for too long, it's going to spike your cholesterol levels. Now, cholesterol is not a bad thing. Cholesterol helps carry hormones. Okay, Miss Marie, I'm going to share it with you right now. Your cholesterol carries hormones throughout the body. There is a cholesterol receptor on every cell, just like there's a vitamin D receptor on every cell, which is why we need vitamin D really bad, which is why we need to be out in the sun, or we need to take vitamin D with K2 at least once a week, because there are receptors on each cell, and when those receptors don't get what they need, then our cells start breaking down. So when we're not eating what we're supposed to, and we're eating constant sugar, we're not watching what we're eating, it spikes our insulin levels. The insulin will also tie into the cholesterol and raise our cholesterol levels, which aren't a bad thing, but there's a difference between HDL and LDL. So when those levels kind of get out of control, then your doctor will put you on medication. The medication is really going to take the hair out, because all of this impacts your hormones. Then you're going to need magnesium to help tie these all together and help stabilize and bring these down. But what you need to do is work on your blood sugar. So yes, Willis Long, yes, you have to cut back on the sugar. If you're having a problem with sensitivity and soreness, and you're having a problem with yeast and fungus, where you're having constant dandruff on the scalp, or you're having that white coated tongue, or you're having that beard that has that dry, itchy, white kind of connection on your face, then you know you're having a problem with sugar. So Willis Long, I'm not sure if you're a male. Your picture looks like you're a male. If you are not, please forgive me. But yes, so you definitely need to cut back on sugar if you have hair loss, because insulin, your insulin levels, it's a hormone. When men have top of the head hair loss, one of the first things they need to do is change their diet and cut back on sugar. So yes, all right, brother. Okay, yes, because insulin is a hormone. This is the hormonal zone. You have to watch and manage your hormones. So in addition to taking things to fortify your hair and scalp needs to ensure that you don't lose hair as quickly as you are, one of the things you have to do is cut back on sugar. So Miss Marie said, what can you do? Miss Marie, I'm a part of a program that, as a trichologist, I have gotten my hands in quite a few things because I have to bring solutions and value to people when they're going through a problem with hair loss. When it comes to blood sugar and managing weight and GLP-1s and glyphosate and metformins and things like that, there are natural solutions that you can do. I have a program. All you have to do is go to this link that's floating across my screen. It says https link.tree/hairlosscenernj.com. You go to my link and you go to the lose weight and feel great section. It's a fasting protocol program that can help you manage your blood sugar. Because what happens is, if you're eating the wrong things for your diet, for example, if you're a type A and you're eating beef, lamb, chicken, and turkey and veal, type A should not be eating those types of foods. So it's going to cause massive inflammation. If you're a type AB, you really should just have turkey and probably soy. You shouldn't have everything else on the list because it's going to cause massive inflammation. Also, for type B, you shouldn't have chicken. You shouldn't have seafood. You shouldn't have shellfish. That can cause massive inflammation and that can lead to further issues in the body. So, in addition to watching what it is that you eat, you have to watch what it is that you're putting into your mouth within certain times of the day. And what I mean by that is, you should try fasting. I have a product that's in my link that will allow you to keep your blood sugar down. So by the time you eat your lunch and eat your dinner, your blood sugar levels are low, which prevents you from having to have these surges of this high blood sugar and then these insulin surges, and you're going to bring down your insulin levels over time. It's part of a fasting protocol. So from the time you eat your last meal at 6 or 7 at night until maybe 12 the next day, we have a product that will help you fast. It's a chlorogenic acid tea that you drink throughout the evening until the next day so that you can fast to keep your blood sugar down. So then when you do eat, you drink the tea again, and then you have a fiber-rich lunch. You can have a salad. You can have something that has fiber in it, like brown rice or potato with the skin. Don't just eat the inside flesh, eat the skin. Eat a fiber-filled lunch along with meat that is for your type. It will help stabilize your blood sugar. In addition, you add the good healthy fat for your diet and your type. Your blood type only should have certain types of healthy fats in your diet. I'm a type AB. I shouldn't have coconut oil. Some people like coconut oil. I can't have coconut oil. Some people really need to have grapeseed oil or olive oil or things like that. Linseed, flaxseed oil. You have your fiber, you have your healthy fats, and the protein that's right for your diet. And then you have your dinner meal. With your dinner meal, then you drink a fiber matrix. The fiber matrix, you drink half of it before you eat, and then you drink the other half after you finish eating. And it's going to build viscosity around your food so that you don't have to eat and digest your entire meal. This is going to cause you to keep your blood sugar down and lose weight, because when you have fiber in your meal, it's going to stabilize your blood sugar. And then you eat the same way. Make sure you have fiber. Make sure you have a good, healthy protein and healthy fat in your meal. It's going to keep your blood sugar stabilized much longer. So with frozen blueberries, the frozen blueberries are okay. The only thing is, you only should have a cup of blueberries, Miss Sherelle Robinson Travis. You should only have a cup, just a cup, in your smoothie. You should have a good protein rich supplement that may be soy, it could be rice, it could be almond milk, it could be flaxseed milk, and then have just a cup of blueberries. If you want to use blueberries, you can use the blueberries or any type of berries because they're rich in antioxidants. It's going to be great for hair cells and any type of cellular growth because those are powerful antioxidants. But just use just a cup because if you're sugar sensitive or prone to type 2 diabetes or you're on that type of medication, there's a lot of natural sugars in fruit. Although they're good for you, you can't overdo it. So you should only have maybe just a cup of them and then add maybe spinach or add something else that's going to, help add some fiber and some roughage to your shakes. But those are excellent to eat. Frozen blueberries are excellent. And then add some ice and then, your milk and then maybe add something else along with it too. But you just can't have an overabundance of it just because they're frozen blueberries. So Tanya says, all you said makes so much sense and explains my hair loss, but I got breast cancer and chemo took all my hair away. Now it's coming back so slowly and patchy. What can you do? Tanya, one of my first suggestions is please, 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 please eat an alkaline rich diet immediately. Reduce your sugar, and if you can, try a fasting protocol like I was sharing. I have the fasting protocol in my link. My link is on the screen right now. It's https link.tree/, hair loss center and J. When you go to the link, you scroll down to the lose weight, feel great section, and the fasting protocol program is there. I would suggest you try to take advantage of that to keep your blood sugar down and eat alkaline. Eat everything that is alkaline. If you know your blood type, eat everything on the beneficial side and the neutral side only. Do not eat anything below the neutrals and the beneficials. So, Engineer Spencer Smith says, is hereditary alopecia affected by blood sugar? If you were listening, you may not have heard me make that comparison, but because insulin is a hormone, if you're eating a lot of sugar, your blood sugar will be constantly raised and constantly affected. It affects the quality of blood flow in your crown when you're eating a lot of sugar. Your blood gets very, very thick. It doesn't carry oxygen to the tissues and to the scalp well. It also doesn't allow good blood flow. So in addition to your genetic predisposition, and I say genetics because if your mama and your daddy had brown eyes, you may have green eyes because there was a recessive trait in your family, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to have brown eyes. You can't change the brown eyes. They're not going to suddenly turn blue. Your hormones and your genetics are tightly tied together when it comes to genetic alopecia. For women, we have that extra added problem with our imbalance in our hormones. And when we have too much sugar, that usually affects androgens. It affects androgens to the point it will cause us to have things like PCOS. That PCOS can also have its dependency on sugar and your insulin levels. So hereditary alopecia, although if you're going to have it, you're going to have it. But that blood sugar, because you're constantly teeter-tottering on too much sugar in that diet, you're going to have that hereditary pattern quicker and faster, and it's going to be more apparent. So if you can slow down on what it is that you're eating, that breaks down into sugar. Even protein breaks down into sugar, but when you're eating too much of it, when it's larger than a fist, when you got to have a steak that's this big as opposed to this big, that's going to break down into sugar. Even your starches, your good starches, it eventually breaks down into sugar because your body needs to break it down to provide energy for you. But when you're eating too many processed foods and too much sugar, like I said earlier, it's going to be stored in your liver as liver fat, which is why we don't need a huge plate. All we need to do is just be satisfied and satiated. We don't need to overeat because all of that breaks down into sugar and it can cause non-alcoholic fatty liver. So yes, hereditary alopecia can be affected by blood sugar because it can cause it to happen much quicker and with more severity, and it can reduce the blood flow and it can impair how your skin is. Will it be irritated? Will it be affected? All of that counts. So I hope that answers your question because I know I can talk a lot. So I just wanted to let you know. And Willis Long, I want to say thank you for joining me today. Hi, Mel Love, if you're still here. So if anyone has any more questions, please let me know because I just wanted to just come on just to share with you all. This is the reason why your hair is a mess. You have to think about what's on the end of your fork. What is on the end of your fork is going to determine the outcome of your life. Even with chemotherapy, even with cancer, if you're consuming a whole lot of sugar during this process of you having cancer, you're going to increase the reactivity of your cancer growth because of the sugar. That cancer loves sugar. It eat, sleeps, and breathes sugar. So even in that respect, you're going to tear your body down by consuming all that sugar. With too much sugar during a normal life, too many things that break down into sugar will eventually lead you into being pre-diabetic, to type 2 diabetes, to having fatty liver. That fatty liver will cause you to have higher levels of cholesterol. Then you're going to be on medication. Then, because we're on that cholesterol medication for too long, then it's going to start giving you problems with your sex hormones. Then you can't, then men won't be able to have an erection because they're on a cholesterol medication when all they need to do is change their diet. So now your doctor has you on probably diabetes medication, cholesterol medication, and now he's going to give you something so you can maintain an erection. And for women, it's the same. Then we're getting on HRTs because now we don't feel right. We can't do this, and now we're having night sweats. So we have to manage what it is that we're eating. We have to package our food and take it to work with us in the morning. Anything that didn't come straight out the sea onto your plate, if it's in a box or in a bag, it's processed. If they added water, if they added salt, nitrite, sugar, if the ingredient list is more than 5 things, it's processed. If you didn't get that turkey and grind it up yourself and put it on your plate, it's processed. The turkey should be ground turkey in the pack. You form your own hamburgers and freeze them and put them in between some wax paper and put it in some Tupperware, put it in the refrigerator. Don't buy the packaged turkey burgers because they always have salt. They always have something in it. Anything that you buy, even the Goya packs of rice, go get yourself some seasoning, make your own seasoned rice. If you take the Goya rice mix and you look at the back of that package, in addition to the colored number yellow, the FDA, the FDA is trying to remove all those colors and those additives from our food because they're causing us to have nervous system issues. Try purchasing a bag of brown rice, some quinoa, some couscous, and adding your own seasonings. Try to stay away from this packaged pre-poo-poo stuff. We need to do this for our health. So I say all this to say, when we are just listening to these small things, it's going to provide us a lot of help. So I just want to let everyone know, if you need more information, all you have to do is go to my link. It's scrolling across the top of this page. It is, if you need more assistance, it's scrolling across the top of my page. It's https link tr.ee/hair loss center NJ. I have a fasting protocol that will allow you to keep your blood sugar down, keep your blood sugar stable, so that you aren't having those high insulin surges. Oh my goodness, my client is not supposed to be here till 8 o'clock, but she keeps calling me. So I'm only going to stay on here till 8 o'clock. If you need help balancing your blood sugar, I have a product that can help you keep this down and help you reverse some of these issues. It contains natural GLP-1s. It has a chlorogenic acid tea. It's going to allow you to have energy and allow you to fast, and you're not going to be hungry. You drink some water all the way up through your lunchtime. Then you drink it with your lunch. Then you have your fiber matrix. You eat that with your dinner, and then you fast. This is going to keep your blood sugar stable, and it's going to keep it lower. It's going to help you over time. So what I want to share with all of you is, in addition to providing these live streams every so often, because I'm trying to get this out here, I want to share with everyone that I need more people like you who are listening to get on board with me, because blood sugar is the enemy. I need people who want to get on board with a company where they can make money part-time. This will also help you as well. So if you know someone who is having a problem with blood sugar, you yourself is having a blood sugar issue, insulin resistant issue, problems with yeast, PCOS, this product can help you. But I need some powerful people on my team who know the power and the wisdom of this and want to help someone as well, who want to put extra income in their pocket and they want to just try this. It's a money back guarantee. If your blood glucose levels and your numbers haven't changed in 90 days, it's a money back guarantee with this product. All you have to do is just go to my link in my profile and just find more information about it. Reach out to me and I will get back to you. Okay, Marie, if you don't see it in my link that's scrolling across the screen, please just send me a message and I'll send you all of the information, or you can call me anytime in between 8 and 5 and I will definitely get back to you. So everyone, this is like the third time my client has called me. So I'm going to open up the door. So I got to go because I got to work. So love, peace, and hair grease, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. You will see clips of this posted on my timeline over the next week. Have a good day on purpose. Bye bye.